Electricity is an important commodity to human life and the economy. In Cameroon, the country depends on hydroelectric power, but its contribution to real development and growth is becoming a disturbing cause for concern. Despite having tremendous natural resources, electricity outages are frequent in many towns and cities in Cameroon. In fact, only 21% of rural homes have access to electricity, according to the World Bank report of 2020. The socio-political upheavals in the northwest and southwest regions has made constant power supply and consumption a thorny problem, especially in rural communities, hence leaving them more vulnerable to the effects of the Anglophone crisis. To counter this problem, an elite is spearheading a project in Fako Division in the southwest region to power the division using renewable energy, and a grand fundraiser to that event has been scheduled for Buea on the 22nd of April 2023. That will be our subject matter in this edition of In-Depth. Stay with us.
Light Up Fako Project, an initiative to make our local communities bright at night by installing affordable and durable solar-powered street lights across our villages. Fako sons and daughters, inhabitants of Fako, friends and lovers of Fako, the time to act is now. We invite you to attend our first charity fundraiser at the Buea Council Hall on the 22nd of April 2023 at 6:30 p.m. Light Up Fako Project, one man, one lamp.
My guest is a law doctor and chief executive officer of Second Chance Support Services. He is also the co-founder of the Refugee Integration Organization. In addition to being a health and safety officer for the state of Alaska, he is also lead advocate and board member of the Alaska Disability Law Center, charged with protecting mentally disabled and advocating for the homeless in the state. The elite of Fako Division in the Southwest region has expertise in advocacy, research, policy engagement, investigation, public speaking, and others, with an eye for details, innovation, efficiency, as well as discipline. He graduated from the Test College of Technology with a Bachelor's of Science in Criminal Justice. He also has a certification in Occupational Safety and Health from Professional Safety Academy. He backed a master's degree in law from California University and a degree from Novus Law School with specialization in cybersecurity, mitigation, conflict resolutions, as well as other certification. Join me to welcome Dr. Molua Smith BECKE to the program. Dr. Molua, thank you very much for talking to Dash News. Thank you very much for the opportunity you've given me to be part and share my views about the importance of solar panels, solar lights. Exactly. Thank you very much. Now, electricity in Cameroon has become a very, very major problem. The reason is because supply is in short. Supply is not really the way people want. But from your observation, how disturbing is the situation? I think the situation is very disturbing because without electricity at night, it increases insecurity in our communities. It also reduces the rate of which young people, especially in the rural communities, will have access to study at night, which is very important because education is one of the top most important thing in our lives. So I think the rate of which electricity is not used in Cameroon is a very disturbing issue. So that is why I initiated the need of renewable energy, which is a solar system, to provide affordable solar lamps
for street lamps at the first place before we move to solar energy.
Solar energy.
Yes.
All right. Now you are a lawyer, and nowadays there's been the school of thought which has linked electricity to human rights. It's commonly said that access to electricity, water are all basic human rights issues. Now, how does the non-availability of electricity a foundation of human rights?
I think the non-availability of electricity is the foundation of human rights because first, without electricity, you can't access to internet. Without electricity, you cannot, as education, it reduces the effectiveness of children in school education.
Yeah.
Without electricity, you can't do anything. So it limits our human ability to access so many things like healthcare, education, even many other things, just to name a few. But if it's healthcare, because you cannot go to the labs, exactly. And insecurity is more important. You cannot walk at night because you don't know who is who at night, you know. So it is very important we have electricity at all times in our community.
All right, now let's talk about the project, the Light of Fako project, which you are spearheading. How did you come out with this initiative?
So I live in Alaska in the first place. I've been in the United States for 20 years. And in Alaska where I live, 18 hours of a day during this winter is dark.
Yeah.
So, and we can only appreciate the fact that we have solar system and we have electricity during that period of winter. So when I visited Cameroon, especially during this time of the Anglophone crisis, and I saw the amount of times that we don't have electricity, and I saw the insecurity. I'm somebody that wants to bring my kids all the time. I have 3 children, you know, a wife. I always want to bring them back home. I also have families and friends. But the most important is that you think about your community before you even think about yourself.
Yeah.
Because you think about your next door neighbor who cannot provide electricity for themselves, and the insecurity that it will cause you to travel to the northwest, the southwest, anywhere in around Fako. So it made me in 2021 to develop an initiative to give back to my community. Affordable solar lamps on the street. I started with my village. I'm from Great Support. I started with my village, but, you know, giving back just to my village,
yes,
it won't stop insecurity in other communities. So what I did is to extend hands to other villages around Fako, which we've already done 17, by the way, 200 lamps, and it's not enough. So we are trying to see if everybody that is linked to Fako, that you are a resident of Fako, you do business in Fako, you were born in Fako, to join us.
Yeah, join
as a team, and let's make sure Fako is lit up. And we are not only ending in Fako. It started in my village. We are extending to other villages in Fako. We are moving from Fako to Southwest to every other region. So we just kicked up from my village, Great Support,
yeah,
and we are moving to Fako, to other villages, and we'll move to other divisions and subdivisions, and then move in the future. Why not the whole of Cameroon?
All right, now you just talk about the case of Great Support. What has been the feedback after the reception of these lamps?
I mean, we have marvelous feedback in Great Support. You know, when I came back in 2022 with my kids, I was able to move at night, walk at night, and the people are happy. I even went to another village that we installed some street lights and met some kids studying under those solar lights. So it touches my soul a lot to see that there are people who cannot afford electricity in their home, or when the normal electricity is not on, they could study under the solar light because it's less cost.
All right, now your target material is the solar lamps.
Yes.
Why the choice of solar energy, whereas there are also potentials for other forms of energy?
So solar energy right now, we are moving in a generation that solar is, everything is about solar. First of all, why solar lamp? Because it's less cost, less maintenance, and efficient at night, right? So with a solar lamp, it generates light during the day, and you don't have to worry about paying electricity bill.
Yes, sure.
It gives you light at night.
Yeah.
It has a large lifespan of 5 years. All you need to do is to clean the top panel and change the battery after 5 years. So we don't have to worry about, oh, today there's no light, today there's light. As long as we install the light and it's able to generate solar during the day and then produces the light at night, then we don't have any worries.
All right. Now, this project is a community-based project, according to the way it's been designed. How important is it for the community to embrace it and make sure that it becomes a success?
So now, let me tell you one thing that I've learned. Without involving the community, it's going to be a failure because they might not appreciate it when you just donate it to them. I personally, with the help of some other people, donated 200 bulbs, right? But involving the community, it makes them see the importance of the light. So they should be involved in the maintenance, in the installation, everything that is associated with the light. In Cameroon now, everything that we do, we depend on the government. And the government is unable to afford on time and provide these services to every community. We live in the community. We should be able to take care of ourselves before waiting for the government. I understand some people say, oh, this is the government responsibility. Yes, it's the government responsibility. But if we are not able to take care of ourselves and wait for the government, we'll injure ourselves more because we'll be insecure. By the time the government
intervention will not come on time.
Will not come on time.
Yeah.
So in getting the community, sensitizing them to make them understand the importance of teamwork and involvement is very important, because one thing we want to do is for us to train at least 2 people from every village so that they'll be able to be in charge of their maintenance of their lamps. We also want to make sure the villages buy some of the lamps. So let's say you have a village and you can afford 10 lamps. The money that we get from the fundraising will add you more lamps that will be sufficient to provide solar street lights for your community. Then those people that are being trained will be able to maintain. If there's any issue that is going on with the lamps, you start by holding them accountable, not some other village. So if any village that is not involved, then they don't need to reduce insecurity. So we are encouraging all the leaders, all the councils, the villages, the quarter heads, everybody needs to get involved, because that's the only way we can fight to reduce insecurity in our communities.
All right, now we are moving towards the fundraiser on the 22nd of April. What preparations have you made at the ground level to see that the grassroots get prepared?
So I am personally, I don't send anybody, I'm personally meeting with all the chiefs. I will meet with all the chiefs, quarter heads if possible. I've met with some elites. I'm just from Yaoundé right now. And I've been talking to ministries and some Fako elites. And I've also been talking to Fako people in the diaspora to make sure we are prepared to start something that is new. It might be difficult, but it's doable.
Doable.
The Bible says, let there be light. And I'm telling the Fako people today, there will be light in Fako.
And the target is 100%.
And the target is 100%.
When I was going through the project, I realized that the first step towards it was to develop a divisional map of areas that need electricity, where to intervene. How crucial is this particular phase to realizing it?
So it's crucial because then we're going back to the community. We go back to the villages and ask them the areas that is very important for them to start providing electricity, street lights.
Street lights.
Because if you don't do that, and we are giving that responsibility back to the community, I cannot come from the United States and identify the areas that are very important in Bonduma to put solar lights. The people of Bonduma should be able to identify the areas that are very important to put solar lights, street lights, that will reduce security in those areas. Because in future, if they don't have enough, when we target the areas that are very important, then in future, we can see those areas that are not very important to put lights.
All right. Now, communities also receive these solar lamps. Do we have an idea of the specificities of these lamps?
Yes. So coming through from the United States, I went to Turkey to negotiate some pricing and some specification. The first ones that we installed was 400 watts, but we are targeting 600 watts. That will provide light for 600 square meters. So 600 watts, and it's going to last the same. The lifespan is still about 5 years. It's going to cost us, because we are buying in bulk, it's going to cost us close to about $40 to $45 a piece. And it can be more cheaper if we buy more. That is about 25,000 CFA. So we are saying that everybody in the community, whether you're coming from where, just buy one lamp. Just buy one lamp, and let's together make this doable. Let's together reduce the insecurity in our community. Everybody wants to work at night. Everybody wants to do stuff at night, but you can't do it. Take, for instance, the explosion that happened during the mountain race.
Yes.
If there was light, the person who installed that explosion in that car would have been targeted. At least somebody will be passing a road by the road and see that somebody is trying to install something in the car that is parked by the road. But because it's dark, anybody can install anything that will target anybody. Everybody is vulnerable when it's dark. So it's very important that people should know that this project needs to be achieved by our communities. So I'm calling on all the Fako elites, all the Fako people in the diaspora, anybody that has a business in Fako, that has a structure in Fako, should join us. It's not about me, it's about us. Yeah. We have to make that possible. And once we are done with Fako, we should be able to carry this campaign to other divisions. Why not the whole of entire Cameroon?
Okay, Doctor. I also realized that to make this project successful, there will be the creation of community-level electricity management committees.
Yes.
What would be their role, concretely speaking?
So their role is going to be to manage the maintenance of the lamps. So that's exactly what's going to be their role. So when we train people from every village, if something is more than them, they're going to report to the main unit. Let's say, if they go for a lamp, to maintain a lamp, and they see that the battery is dead, they have to report to the main unit, and they will look for the replacement for the battery. So anything that is wrong with the solar lamp, they have to report to the main unit, and they will provide it. It's going to provide not only light, it's going to provide employment. Just think about it. 2 people from every Fako village. 2 people, male or female. 2 people. You know how much employment it's going to provide? At least 500 people will have a job working with solar panel. It's going to reduce insecurity. So it is it's going to help those kids who don't have light to even go and study under those solar lamps. So it's a very important project, and I'm happy that you guys invited me to talk about this project.
All right, now, still talking about these committees, the composition, 20% of women and young girls. What are you trying to portray as far as gender balance is concerned?
You know, right now in my team, about 50% is female.
Female.
So it doesn't matter whether you are male or female. When it comes to technical work, both gender can do it. So we are going to balance the gender level to make sure the female gender also benefits from this project. So we are not just going to look at the male. If you are a female and you think you can provide maintenance for solar panels or solar lamps, you're welcome. We provide 50-50 opportunity for both genders.
And it's also going to be a youth-oriented
project.
A youth-oriented project.
Yes.
What role would they be playing?
No, it is time for us to bring our youth in. We complain about our government and stuff, but it's time for us to bring our youth in to orient them. J.F. Kennedy once said this. You need to ask what you can provide for your community,
and not what your
community provides for us. So we need to orient our youth to have that notion, that idea, to start thinking of what we as young people can provide for our community so that our community can grow. So we should not be waiting for the government one day that the government is going to give us gold and silver. We have to do it. And then whatever the government comes and gives, that's fine. So that orientation, the youth are going to play a lot of roles in this project because they have to learn about the solar panel. They have to learn how to work together as a team in their community to provide maintenance for this stuff, these solar lamps.
Okay, now we live in an environment which is marked by gender-based violence, where child protection has also been affected as a result of the crisis affecting the Northwest and Southwest regions. What role can a project like this play in fighting gender-based violence, ensuring child protection?
First of all, the project is clear. It reduces insecurity. Gender-based violence can only happen when there's darkness, right? Yeah. Somebody can be abused when there's darkness. I would say, if you have street light, or if less than 50% of people abused in anywhere in the world is in darkness.
Yeah.
So that this project is going to reduce that because there will be light all the time. Secondly, it's a positive project that is a community-based project that is going to help. It's going to make people to work together and see things positive. In the past 7 years, we've been having a lot of negative thoughts about Cameroon, about things that are happening in Cameroon. Let's think positive. What can we do to change that? So I think putting people at work from this project, giving them light at night, is going to help them start thinking positive. It's going to reduce insecurity that if there's light over here at night, I can't go there and abuse somebody because I will feel that somebody else will see me, right? So those are the things that will be beneficiary to our community. So I'm really want to see how this project is going to unfold.
Okay. All right. Now, let's talk about the risk. And you have mentioned at length about insecurity. We know that there are still some areas in Fako Division that are a little bit vulnerable to insecurity, despite the fact that that Fako Division now enjoys peace. What measures have you taken to ensure that this project gets into those areas that are still somehow unstable?
That's why we are having that launching and fundraising. We want to work with the mayors. We want to work with the security force. We want to work with the chiefs in the villages so that we can all together develop some measures to put in place so that it will smoothly allow the installation of these lights. Because if I cannot sit here and tell you by myself that I have to develop, but the only measures I can do is to bring the mayors together, bring the security officials together, and let's together come up with a plan to say, okay, if we are going to install lights in Bonduma, how secure is Bonduma? What measures do we need to put in place? How many security men do we need to put in place? How much support do we have from the village to put in place so that they can smoothly install these lamps? So all those things, I think, bringing the mayors, the chiefs, and the security officials together is going to help.
Okay, now the project is a huge one financially, 55 million francs CFA. That's roughly $100,000 US dollars. And we live at a time when the prices of goods and services are fluctuating each time. How would you tackle the issue of fluctuation in the prices of these panels?
So what we'll tackle is when we have the best pricing, we keep it at that rate. I don't think if we strike a deal with a partner that is supplying light.
Yeah, I may want to change somehow.
I already told them that this is a community-based project. And when we tackle a price and settle on that price stays. Trying to see, the only thing that could increase the price is the custom duty in Cameroon. But I'm trying to see how the government can assist to waive that custom duty so that we keep the price more affordable for people to buy. So we want to give a fixed price that we include installation and maintenance and everything so that it's easy for people to see. So tomorrow we don't come and say, oh, the prices has gone up and we have to buy lamps for them. No, we don't want that.
All right, Doctor, for any project to be effective, it needs a thorough monitoring and evaluation plan. Has that been designed already?
Yes. Right now I have a team of 10 people on the ground. I also have a financial team that will be responsible to manage this project on the ground. I'm not here all the time. We have meetings at least twice every week. And when the project is, now that we're going closer and closer, we'll be having meetings at least 3 times every week to make sure we get feedbacks and fallout or any complaint about the project. Yes, so they are designing, the team is designing how the project will be managed on the ground and where we're going to start and how we're going to move forward.
Okay, now the project is holding at a time when government is also implementing the reconstruction and development plan of the 2 regions. Recently, the chairperson of the steering committee made an evaluation which was very positive according to the government of the projects that they have been able to realize. And government also has called on elites to also take a front role. How does this project complement that of government?
Well, for right now, I can't say how. For right now, I am focused on accomplishing what is in Fako, right? Yeah. After we accomplish the one that we have in Fako, if the government feels that this project, I've been talking to ministers, and some of them have referred me to FOECOM and see how they can come in. Yeah. But because this one is a community issue, I want the realization of this project to see how it's going to be effective. Then, if the government evaluates it and think that this is a project that can proceed to other divisions and maybe other regions, then we can sit down and see how they can come in.
But just how important is it for youth, particularly those in the diaspora, to come back home?
Oh, I'm sending a message to them that it is very important for you back in the diaspora to come and plant a seed where you come from. Don't only think about coming to build a house in Fako. Think about coming to secure where you are building a house. Because your next door neighbor may not have the money to build a house. And let me tell you one thing. If, should in case you have a house well secured, everything is light, your next door neighbor does not have that. If somebody comes to attack you, he's not secured, he's not able to leave his house to come and help you.
Yes.
So those are the things that made me to feel like, okay, let's put let everybody has this light. So that when you are attacked, the next door neighbor should be able to leave their house secured because there's light outside to come and help you. So I'm calling on every youth or every Cameroonian in the diaspora to look at investing for one lamb, where you're coming from. Not just Fako, just invest one lamb. Don't just think that, oh, I'm coming to build $1 million house in Fako without securing the streets of Fako, without securing the streets of where you're coming from. So it's a very important challenge. It's a challenge for everybody. Us in the diaspora, people, elites that live here, come back and let's secure the streets, our streets of Fako.
Yeah, I'm sure you must have met with some elites, particularly those in Fako. What has been
the reaction?
What has been their reaction?
Their reaction is very positive, very, very positive. Everybody wants to see this happen. I didn't expect the outcome like that, a positive outcome, but I'm telling you, everybody, the youths of Fako, they are coming up together. They are energizing to see this happen. The people in the diaspora have been getting called on how they can contribute. The elites, I just met some of them in Yaoundé. They want to know how they can come in. So I think the energy is ramping up. And in my team, I don't only have Fako people. I have people from Northwest. I have people from Meme Division, Manu, Francophone. I have people from all regions in Cameroon in my team. Because I don't intend to end in Fako. I intend to move to other regions.
If not, it should be a national project.
It should be a national project because the same issue that we are having in Fako, that's the same issue that I saw in Yaoundé. I was driving back from Yaoundé last week. I'm passing through a place that is very dark.
Yaoundé with lots of insecurity right now at the moment in Yaoundé.
So I saw somebody throw a stone, and we were unfortunate that my driver passed by, but he got the other person back. If there was light, nobody can stand there and throw a stone. If there was light in that area, you will have security officers standing over there. But because there's no light, the security officers cannot stand over there. People have to stand there to rob. Can you imagine what will happen when somebody is robbed in the darkness? It's very bad. So it's not only in Fako, it's all over Cameroon. So we are starting in Fako, but it's a national project, and it's because it's a national sickness. We need security lights all over. The ones that Sonel have, they are not working. So the solar lamps are going to help. So we need it all over. So anybody in the diaspora, anybody that feels that they are a Cameroonian, they should invest. Just that's $40 or $45, one lamp. Anybody, one lamp. You find out that will be very secured wherever you are.
All right. Now, at the level of the government, which authorities have you met to out this particular vision?
So far, I've met with the Minister of Water and Energy. I've met with the Ministry of Urban
Development and
Housing. I met with the Ministry of Secondary Education yesterday, and she was very happy. She's from Fako too. She was very, very happy about the project. I've met with Pan-Afric, that is ready to sign an MOU with us. The Ministry of Housing and Urban Development is also ready to sign an MOU with us to involve all the city councils so that they be partnership with us. And I met with the United States Ambassador to Cameroon last week, and I'm willing to meet with anybody to make sure this project is achievable. And we are not only ending there. Coming back from Yaoundé, I just got a call. There are two things from somebody that is willing to work with me because they've seen this project to install satellite internet in Cameroon. So those are things that are very needed. So we are not only ending there, we're also going to see about potable water. We're also going to see about the environment. Our environments are very dirty. So the youth should take note, because if somebody gets sick, it's not the government. It's us living in that community. The youth should be actively involved in our community to make sure we are safe, to make sure the community is secured, to make sure the community is clean, to make sure we have potable water. And we can only do that by standing together as a team.
All right, do you have an idea of how the fundraiser will look like on the 22nd?
So the fundraiser is going to be at the Buea Council Hall. There will be some animation. There will be a lot of people coming in. There will be a full presentation of the project, a slideshow presentation of the project by my team lead. She's now in the United States. She'll be back on Monday. And then we'll start doing some fundraising for the project. It's going to be not that much talking, but also networking and talking to people on how, finding out ideas on how we can, accomplish something like this. It's a huge project, and we need ideas from people like you, especially being on the ground. We need good ideas, and whatever you can share. It's not only about money. If you can put something, hey, Mr. BECKE, this is what I think it could be. You're welcome. Everybody is welcome to share an idea, because many trees don't make a forest. So we want to bring everybody in to make sure this project is achievable.
All right, now we have seen that hydroelectric power which Cameroon is using is not sustainable for the population. And you're talking about renewable and bringing it now to the local communities. How important is it for Cameroon at this point in time to start looking towards other sources of energy?
It's very important. I spoke to the director of water and energy yesterday, and he applauded the project, and he said they are working something towards that, and he's willing to work with me. It's very important because other parts of the world are already using it. We can never have sufficient electricity, but with solar system, it's very, very easy and low maintenance. Everybody will have. So renewable energy is what the world is going for.
Especially as we are talking about Vision 2035 in Cameroon.
Yes, especially as we are talking about Vision 2035, we should be looking about things like that. We should not be always looking about it. We are having an old system in Cameroon, and it's not working. We should know that it's not working. If somebody doesn't have money to buy their own generator or buy their own solar panel, then sometimes we are in Buea for 2-3 days, there's no light. There's no water. So I think this is something very important for the Cameroon government and others in the diaspora. You just said the government is calling for the elites at home and abroad to be the front line. So it is time for us to come and sit down to find solutions that will resolve these issues.
Okay, Doctor, away from this particular project, let's talk about your professional engagements. You had the Alaska, you're founder of the Refugee Integration Organization in Alaska. What role does it play?
Well, the role that we play is that every Cameroonian or every African that comes to Alaska, we give them a roadway for them to file their immigration documents. So that's all we do, and assist them in some basic needs that they may need. It's a very small organization that we started with some friends from Ghana, and we just help people from Africa to help them with their immigration status and stuff like that, and even some fundings that they can get in order to succeed with their immigration stuff.
All right, just last question before you go. Of course, you were here in Buea last year and you're back this year, 2023. Any changes in your town where you grew up?
Well, not much changes. Buea is always Buea. There's a lot of development going on. I understand it's the fastest growing city in Cameroon right now. When we used to grow up, we used to use bush lamps. From one, you use bush lamps at night, but Buea was not that populated. To leave my 17 to go to Great Support, it take less time. But now, sometimes it take about an hour. From my 17 to Great Support. So there's a lot of differences where it's a lot populated right now with young people, which is good. But the unemployment too is growing because the young people that leave the university have no jobs. And I think there's a way, just like I'll emphasize again, those of us in the diaspora need to come back home and encourage them. Because sometimes you might not even need a job from the government. Yeah. You need a job. You need somebody that can encourage you to do something and you to be productive by your own self after leaving the university. I left Ombe and then I started molding blocks. And then I worked with CDC, worked with Pamol, and then I found my way out. I didn't give up. I didn't give up not because I didn't go to university in Cameroon. I knew that there was a bright future if I worked things out for myself. And sometimes when you stay back and wait for somebody to push you, you hardly be successful. A push by yourself will make you more successful. Yes, because you feel the pain, you know what you are going for. So we should be more productive. And I applaud now with the crisis, I see a lot of creativity with young people in Cameroon. People are creative. Young people are creative. They're doing things to make things happen. So I think it is time for us from the diaspora not only to look at the cry from the government, but to see how we can be part to improve. Let's look at it in a positive way. If something is not working right, to me, if I'm not going right, I should look at the left-hand side to see if there's a way or a means for me to make it happen. So if I'm sitting here and then something is not going right, I cannot encourage myself or I cannot accept that something is not right, then I won't move forward.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Molua Smith BECKE.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure having you, and we promise to accompany you with this project. Dash Media will be there throughout.
Thank you very much.
And to you, televiewers, it was a massive pleasure being with you in this edition of the program In Depth. We thank you very much for watching. Programs continue on The Voice of Africa. Stay tuned. Don't go away. Bye-bye.
Vale evako ewolo ya ligbea ivale imboaja vako uwu olika wetulu wesola lende imboaja reja vako watu ingmana vako evonde muka ligbea mame utane lukia owolia woro muurange anugbea kansu hall ungbende ya kiti mbangamea na meya monuma motomoko etulu.